Today on
Doomed!
It's been a little while, everybody, but I decided I had to come back. I didn't even plan to take this time off. I'll let you all in on a little personal life of Matt Binder over the past couple of weeks. It just so happened that every time I wanted to do something with the kids, or with my family, it was on a Wednesday night. We'll dive into all this, but more importantly, we got lots of news to talk about, as well as taking your calls. So let's get right into this. I didn't even pull up my green screen yet. So this is a little impromptu, laid back, but a full on show. We're doing a call-in show, folks. How are you all doing tonight, everybody? It's been a little while, like I said. I missed you all tremendously. It just so happened that Soccer Pizza says, "Uh-oh, Binder is in the files." I don't think I am, as far as I know. Uh, what's that, Pambandi? Oh, I am. Oh, that's the first time I'm hearing this. So let's talk about that. But anyway, I missed you all very much. I wasn't planning on honestly taking time off. As you know, I have a newborn baby who's now about a month old. But I wasn't planning on taking a time off. It's just that so happens that every single Wednesday something came up. One Wednesday was my son's 10th birthday. So we did things, we little cake, celebrate, we went to dinner. My oldest is now 10, and I am now old. Jesus Christ, I've been doing this for 10 years, folks. Raising kids for 10 years, a decade of dadstruction. And then one Wednesday, I think like the new Jurassic World movie came out, and my wife is a huge Jurassic Park fan, and like her mom agreed to stay over late for the midnight so we could catch the midnight showing the day it came out, the Wednesday it came out. And so she stayed and watched the baby, and that was like the one time we've been out since the baby's been born. So that was one Wednesday, I believe. And then another Wednesday night, my daughter and my son both go to a soccer camp during the day, and NYCFC2, which is like NYCFC's like minor league team. Like they just called up a bunch of guys from NYCFC2 to play on the main team. But the NYCFC2 played a game literally at the same place my kids go to camp. So like there was no way they were gonna miss that. So we went to that, and that of course was a Wednesday night. And then what else? I can't even remember. Every Wednesday there's something. My dad says, "What's the deal with the baseball cap?" Well, my hair is officially extremely long. And so I'm using the hat to basically keep the hair from getting in my way. I need to get a haircut, Dad. I'm not going to cut it short. I just need to shape it so it's not all up in my face and bothering me. And so that was my daughter's first like attending a soccer game that was not like her brother's. And then on Sunday, now this has nothing to do with the show. I didn't miss the show because of this, but on Sunday, someone gave me that they couldn't go, and they had tickets to TNA Wrestling's big event at the UBS Arena, Slammiversary, and so I got 2 free tickets to that. And my daughter finds out we're going, and she wants to go because her favorite wrestler is this guy Joe Hendry who wrestles for TNA. And that's right, my daughter's a wrestling fan. And so I found a cheap seat and bought her a ticket. So we all went, her first wrestling show, and we got lucky. The people sitting next to me and my son didn't show up, so my daughter just sat there. I wasn't gonna have my daughter sit by herself. She was gonna sit on my lap if the seat wasn't because we had two seats together, and then the one seat I bought. And then what else? Yeah, it's just been so busy. It's been busy. Trying to keep my kids busy, especially obviously the two older ones. I didn't want them to have a lame summer because they have a new sibling. Like we're not obviously not going on vacation anywhere because A, we can't afford it, and B, there's a baby. So even if we could, it's kind of a waste of a vacation to take a baby that young anywhere. So I'm just trying to do things with them to give them a good summer, you know. I enjoy being a dad. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it. So I've actually been sort of like out of the loop with like I'm not shaving my head and beard, Stephen. Okay, it's not happening. It's not happening. When I say I need a haircut, it basically means I need to shape it so it's not like insane. And I don't even mean it insane, like insane for me. I don't care how it looks. I actually care about how it bothers me. Like, it gets in my way. If I could have an afro, I probably would like just let it go out because then it wouldn't get in my face. I could never do like a metalhead hair, like long metalhead hair, because it would just be I couldn't deal with that. Anyway, Chris says, you already live in NYC. You don't need an expensive vacation. Yeah, but let me tell you, if you live in New York City, it's fantastic, obviously. But it's not, it's just like if you live in, I don't know, if you live in Orlando, going to a theme park isn't like, you go to theme parks anytime. It's not a vacation. Trent says ponytail? Never. No, no ponytail. I'm going to reshave the sides and shape the middle. I mean, Reed the Steeds has got to go with the mullet, man. I mean, it's basically a mullet. When you have a mohawk, when you shave the sides and then don't spike the middle, it's basically a mullet. I basically have a mullet. I got some fuzz from I got a new chair. I got a new chair. I don't know if you noticed the captain's log, huge like background chair that made me look like I was commandeering a ship. I got a large chair that allows me to cross my crisscross my legs so I'm not it actually helps my back. It's always a problem with me, my back. All right, enough about me. Why am I why are we going on these tangents? Let's talk what's going on in the world, right? Let's talk what's going on in the world. Now, my goal is I'm back. Like the summer is about halfway through now. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any more events on Wednesdays. I would like to I would like to set up some sort of like basic website where I would just post like I don't listen, people don't use social media for this shit anymore. Social media is to like comment on like the world, like put out like and like people aren't like I'm late to on social media like I'm eating lunch. That doesn't happen anymore. So I'm creating a site for the show so I can update you guys. Like I would put a quick post up that says like a blog that says so that you guys could check, and I'd be like, "Hey guys, no show tonight because such and such," or "Yeah, I'm doing a show tonight, guys. Tentatively 10:30 p.m." Like that's the goal. I'm gonna have a site like that up in a few weeks. I also keep saying I'm gonna launch the newsletter. I actually have been working on a few pieces that will be great for the newsletter. like exclusive reporting. It's just that I've been busy. I didn't expect to be so busy these past few weeks. But I guess I should have penciled that in for like the first few weeks after a new kid is in the house, right? I mean, what an idiot I am thinking like, oh, I'm going to start all these things. The summer's here. My kid is born. There's 3 kids in the house now. No time. I'm gonna put any time aside to get like the new schedule situated and everyone worked out. I'm just gonna pretend. I'm just gonna jump right in. Nah. I will have everything together. Give it to me. Give me a little bit of time. I'll be back full throttle, better than ever, more content than ever very shortly. I mean, honestly, I have to, cause these kids are expensive. I gotta give you guys stuff, so you guys think I'm worthy of payment. Uh, I think you'll think I'm worthy. Anyway, I think some streamers use Discord for those notifications. I gotta relaunch the Discord channel too. I've been telling all you guys for like months. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then I swear I'm working on it, but I could never pull the trigger. First of all, I'm a perfectionist, which is a fucking stupid shit. Like stupid shit nowadays. Like no one like works like artists don't work like years on an album anymore. They fucking throw an album together in a few weeks and put that shit out because that's just the way the world works. I'm still an old school, old man working on my craft to make sure everything's perfect. Meanwhile, the TikTok kids are fucking throwing shit out 24/7, making bank, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this perfectly. I gotta just throw shit out there. I just gotta fucking stop being, you gotta dot my I's and cross my T's. Nah, just throw that shit out, Matt. I gotta do it. Anyway, phone lines are open. Let's get the phone lines open. We'll talk about some stuff going on in the news. 646 303 7337. 646 303 7337. Call me. Take your calls. People really are distracted by me wearing a hat. I don't think it's that big of a deal, is it? I'm gonna wear this hat tomorrow too on the Majority Port and Leftist Mafia. So if this is really bothering you, beware, prepare, beware. I'm gonna ruin your Majority Port and Leftist Mafia too by wearing this hat. All right, let's take the first call coming in. Hey, 308, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Kowalski from Nebraska.
Kowalski from Nebraska. It is so great to hear from you, Kowalski. I've missed hearing your voice and so many of the other regular listeners.
Well, I was just I appreciate that, by the way, and I know my voice it helps people sleep, from what I've been told, especially when I talk about farm stuff. That might be why you probably feel so tired lately.
Why is that?
Well, you haven't been talking to me. You don't hear my voice, and then you don't sleep as
Oh,
well.
that's what you meant. I got confused. Obviously, I'm already tired.
Yeah, clearly you're confused because you haven't spoken to me in a while. This is the problem.
I will say, like, it's funny. Like, I was actually, I guess, must have just been off of adrenaline. Like those first few weeks after the first like 2-3 weeks after the baby was home, I was fine. But like the past week or two, I've been dead. Like it's finally caught up to me. I've been like going to put the kids to sleep, the older 2 kids to sleep, and I just fucking conk out on the couch, and it's like 9:30, and then I wake up at midnight, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta walk the dog, and I fucking take the dog out, and then I come back in. I'm like, I'm gonna get shit done, but first let me just sit down for a minute. and then I fall asleep till it's like fucking in the morning. It's horrible, man. I gotta wake back up. Wake me up, Kowalski. Help me out here.
Well, I can't do that. I mean, we're in the middle of summer. This is like the time of year where everyone is supposed to slow down and get lazy and tired. Like,
Nah, nah,
you're
nah.
not
I
supposed to
can't.
be going 20.
I
Haven't you
can't.
guys been dealing with like endless heat waves in New York?
It's actually been very hot in New York until this week. It's been kind of nice this week.
Well, I mean, it could be cooler. I mean, today it got up into like the mid 90s here, and then right around 7 o'clock, the sky turned green and the wind blew, and then it dropped 35 degrees.
The wind. What? How did the sky turn green? Is that a thing that happens?
That is what happens when there is a massive pressure change out on the Great Plains, and we
Oh,
had like 60-mile-an-hour winds.
interesting. We don't get
Like,
green skies here in New York.
no, you guys like, oh, we don't want a random hurricane powered storm to show up without warning. You see, like that's the problem. That's why the country's getting weak. Too many people live in the cities that are too safe.
There you go. I mean, that sounds about
I mean,
right.
that's all we hear about cities on the news is that they're too safe. No
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah,
right?
I gotta say, I don't I really it's like so hard for me to like I'm not just saying it either because like I'm a progressive or a leftist or whatever, and I'm trying to like I honestly think New York City is fucking the safest place to be. And I go out at all hours of the night. I take my kids out. I am not concerned. Nothing happens to us. I don't know. Maybe maybe I am scary to other people, and the criminals are scared of me, so they don't fuck with me. But I literally think it is safer than it's ever been because I fucking here and I fucking go out and I fucking ride the subways and I fucking am all over the place. And I play soccer in Brooklyn at Sunday nights at like 10 p.m. It's completely I'm in the fucking park. Completely safe. Nothing to be like honestly, I don't know what people are talking about.
You know, I have to say, the one time I visited New York, which was in January of 23, I was promised a city on the verge of chaos. I was
There's no
promised,
it's
you
just
know,
not
like
happening.
the subways was supposed to be like a battle royale situation.
I'm sorry to
At no
disappoint.
point, yeah, at no point did I get to use any of my like worthless farmer ninja skills. No, everyone was nice. Everyone was honestly a little too friendly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah, the
um, mostly
total
people
mismarketing.
mostly people just mind their own business here, honestly. Now, if that's a problem with you, if you're someone who's used to like you said, you just can't you sometimes you come across friendly people, but I would say in my experience is people who mind their own business. Like if I guess maybe if you're someone who's used to like small town, everyone down walking down the street going, "Hey there, hi." Sometimes you'll come across that, but a lot of times you just come across people who just look down, look forward, listen to music, mind their own business. Maybe if you're from another place and that could be put you off, and maybe that makes you feel uncomfortable. I don't know, but that's like the worst. I'm gonna be completely honest too. Someone just said no hobo fights. That's not that's such a nice way to call the homeless people. So let's not call homeless people hobos. But I will say, like, I've not been on the West Coast for a very long time. But I will say, like, when I did go to the West Coast, like, people who are homeless there, like, there's not all people, obviously, but a lot of them seem like they were dealing with, like, drug issues for the homeless people I came across. We're here in New York, most of the homeless people you'll come across here are literally just dealing with like mental health problems and they don't want to be bothered. They want to be left alone. Like they're not scary at all. Like I'll be honest, there were some people who I came across last time I went to LA who were like, I'm staying away. Here, we don't even worry about that. You don't got to cross the street or anything like that. The homeless people here are not even something to worry about. If that's something you're worried about, I mean, they just need help.
Well, I've always had this view. I think winter, especially snowy winters, make people humble. See, that's the problem with the West Coast. That's why nobody trusts people from California. They don't know how to suffer collectively as a population.
Right. Susan says drug issues are also mental health problems. Yeah, that's possible too. Yeah, obviously. I'm just saying like
Fair.
from my experience, there was a difference in like what you came across as to why people were homeless. Um, and there's probably is a lot of overlap, but it was a little bit different. And I think people who might know what I'm talking about, people in the chat are saying, I know what you're talking about. Um, yeah, it just is what it is. I'm not someone who's like, you know, see a homeless person and like, I hate that shit. Like when it's like, oh, get the homeless off my block or whatever. There's Sometimes there's homeless people on my street, and it's just like, let them be, let them be. They just Most of the time they're passing by, going somewhere else, trying to get to a more populated like area where there's not really residential places anyway, because they're trying to find a place where they could panhandle for money, and that's most likely to be where people are going to partake in commerce.
So you're telling me then you do not support Andrew Cuomo, I take it. Because I believe his plan was to eliminate the homeless, and I believe he left that vague.
Yeah, I hate that shit. He's First of all, the craziest thing is that he apparently said that if Mamdani wins, he's moving out of New York City. He's going to Florida. And in my opinion, that's got to be like the most disqualifying thing he said. Like, don't take this the wrong way, please. But if you're running for mayor of New York City, saying that is actually even more disqualifying than like all of his scandals. If you In my opinion. Like, being a New Yorker, a real New Yorker, means you're fucking New York through and through. You fucking stick it out here through thick and thin. You don't fucking just leave when the going gets tough. You don't fucking leave after 9/11. You don't fucking leave because you're living in an apartment during COVID and you gotta go and you gotta travel and go on vacation and go move out so you got more space. No, no, no. A real New Yorker stays in New York through thick and thin. The only excuse I'll give to someone who leaves New York, who was born and raised here, is for financial reasons. If you can't afford it anymore, something happens and you got to move or something. That's the only legit reason to move out of New York. Otherwise,
Well, that's why he's going to move because Mamdani wants to raise his taxes by another 2%.
no,
That
no, no,
that's
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 not.
too
No,
much.
that's not. That doesn't count. It's got to be like you fucking can't afford to even live here anymore. Like you're going broke. Not you're a rich person who doesn't want to pay a little bit more. If you're New York born and New York bred, unless it's financial reasons you got to move out, you'll be fucking. You stay here until you're New York dead. All right. If you're a fake New Yorker, if you fucking pull that shit, oh, I'm moving out because of this or that, get out, you fake New Yorker. He should be disqualified from running for mayor because if he said that shit, he's gonna leave the city. He's gonna leave us behind if Mamdani becomes, he's not even a fucking real New Yorker to begin with, but let's just take it. He wants to be mayor of New York and he's out there saying if Mamdani wins, he's hightailing it, he's tucking his tail in and running for the hills. That should be disqualifying. No New Yorker should vote for someone who doesn't stick it out here no matter what.
It does kind of boggle my mind that he is going to run as an independent because I guess I don't know. From the middle of the country, it looks like he doesn't really have a snowball's chance in hell. I mean, wouldn't most of the people just look at the names there and go, "Oh, this one here is the Democrat. I think I know who
Yeah.
I'm voting for."
Mamdani, I don't want to be too cocky here, but Mamdani is like almost a sure thing. Like 99.9999% he's winning. Like there's got to be a upset as big as Mamdani winning by how much he won for that to. Adams has no chance. Curtis Lewa has no chance. Andrew Cuomo has no chance, in my opinion.
The only issue I think, which is that
if
1%, would be federal intervention. So
if someone
that
if people drop out, the chances for that upset are a bit more. But here's the deal: I can't picture them dropping out. Like Cuomo's the one who said he would drop out if he thinks he's not going to win. And he asked the other guys to do the same. Now, I actually believe in most scenarios, Cuomo is the narcissist who would do anything to further his career, would never drop out for the good, the greater good, whatever that greater good is. Except this time around, I think he is the least narcissistic of the three guys running. Like, I picture Cuomo actually keeping his word if come September, he's not the front runner of the three guys running against Mamdani. However, Eric Adams is the incumbent. There is no fucking chance in hell that Eric Adams, of all peoples, as the incumbent, maybe if he wasn't in the incumbent, he would do something for the greater good and drop out, whatever. But he's the incumbent. He thinks this is his right. Oh, I lost Kowalski. Kowalski, I wouldn't get phone calls if Kowalski was still on the line. What happened here? Why did I lose Kowalski? Call back in, Kowalski. Anyway, let me continue. But being that Eric Adams, hello?
Hey, this is Ren.
Oh, hey, Ren. I'm sorry. I thought it was Kowalski calling back in. Hold on.
Do you want to get back in with Kowalski?
No, he's not calling me back, so don't worry about it. But just give me 1 second to finish my thoughts on the mayoral race, and then you could jump in you could continue that conversation, or you could start something new. But let me just finish my thoughts on this.
Sure thing.
So Eric Adams, as the incumbent, is not gonna fucking drop out no matter what. He's a narcissist too. And as the incumbent, it would be like saying you're done. It would be yeah, right, not happening. And Curtis Lewa thinks he's the fucking real guy in the race. He's the true New Yorker in the race who's going to win. And as the Republican candidate, and the other two aren't Republicans, Eric Adams is pretty close, but he's not. He's going to say, no, I got to represent the Republicans. There's no way these guys are dropping out. All right. How you doing, Ren? Long time no talk. How you been?
Oh my gosh, to be honest, like this weekend's been absolutely fucking crazy. Things have been kind of a lot, like just a lot of stress for a lot of reasons.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's just like when you have trouble getting around, like everything just kind of piles on top. So you get to a point where you're like, shit, like I need to fix the car, but my back and my legs are giving me problems, so I can't do that. And shit, how am I going to get my groceries or fill my prescriptions if I can't, drive my car to the grocery store? And so I've just been kind of trying to dig myself out of that hole with fixing the car. But I don't know. To be honest, I think that I could see Eric Adams. I could see Cuomo leaving, Eric Adams registering as a Republican and getting the nod from Trump to run for the Republican nomination in 4 years for mayor. And that would be interesting, like 8 years apart, being nominated by two different parties for the mayoral race.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I could see. Good Lord, there's an ad playing on my phone. I don't know, like I could see Trump trying to rat F Zoran and like try to get, Adams in there after a while or the next election or something. But yeah, Zoran looks like he's got a pretty good pretty good shot of closing this out and having it be a really clean win.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very happy for you guys in New York. Like I'm genuinely very happy for you. I saw that and I went, things are different now. Like I had Zoran win, and it was like, gosh, that came after we found out Biden had cancer, right?
Yeah.
It was those two things. First, before Zoran won, all I had for 2025 was spite. That's all I had was spite. And but it's that and Zoran winning the primary, where every time I think about Joe Biden dying of ass cancer, I just smile. Like I just sit back and I smile, and I know it's mean, but I do it. And like whenever I think about like Zoran and the shit that he's doing, I'm pretty happy about it. Like I was having this conversation with a friend, and I was talking about politics and AOC. Come to think of it, I could bring that up. But basically, I had texted somebody in my local Democratic Party who's a very standard liberal. I was telling her that AOC had, kind of pissed me off and let me down. And I kind of explained to her that when it came to young people, we want politicians to just be normal people. And that, like for somebody in the position she's in, lying does not benefit AOC. Lying about the reason she takes a vote or doesn't take a vote,
I've been out of the loop with this one. So what happened? Did she or didn't she vote for the? I saw her.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene not issued a statement. She tried to put an amendment to a Republican budget line that basically said the United States would not offer any military aid, offensive or defensive, to Israel. And she was talking about people who had gotten killed in Gaza, mainly focusing on Christians, let's be honest. But Marjorie Taylor Greene put forward a good resolution, which is to stop the United States from transferring arms and giving military aid to Israel. And that needs to stop. And I believe AOC, and this is the part where I'm not totally sure, I believe AOC had signaled that she would vote for an amendment such as that, but then she didn't vote for the amendment. And it showed in the roll call that she voted no on that budget amendment. And basically what the situation was is that doing the right thing was too hard. She wants to run for president. She thinks that she's going to get relentlessly attacked for being associated with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And what she had said in response, and this was on the internet, she said this, in response to people being mad at her, was she said, I believe she had said, if you want to be in good company with neo-Nazis, by all means have them. And that pissed off people on the left a lot because, she's not coordinating with other people in the squad. She's not coordinating with Rashida Tlaib, who voted for that amendment to not transfer arms to Israel. She, cast aspersions or cast a negative light on Rashida Tlaib for voting for that. She cast a negative light on Ilhan Omar for voting for that. And Al Green of Texas, it's just again, I think she said something stupid. I think she did something stupid. I think she did it because she doesn't have good political instincts, and she's probably not going to be president because of those bad political instincts.
But I thought I saw her say something in terms of what did she say? How this was funding. This wasn't funding for
it was for Iron Dome.
Yeah, that's what bothered me more than anything. Because we shouldn't be funding Israel.
Iron Dome is what let Israeli politics get that bad that they were yup, we need to do genocide because there's no way anyone's going to hold us accountable.
We shouldn't be funding anything for Israel. That country, Israel needs to be face repercussions for what they've done. And that means pulling funding altogether no matter what. The idea that it's defense funding and not offensive funding, that really that was fucking.
She said that if the United States cut off military aid for the Iron Dome, that more civilians would die.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit.
I'm sorry.
And it was like, it was just.
Listen, I've said it before. She's not perfect. I think a lot of people attack her for the wrong things, but that doesn't mean that people also attack her and criticize her for the right things. I think this was. I think. Let me put it this way. I just think
it doesn't help her. I just think it doesn't help her.
I think the point to be made, if you're going to vote against this, and I wouldn't have if I was in office, I would have voted for it alongside Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. But if I was going to vote against it, the point to make here is Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment is bullshit. We know Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care about this issue. She's using it to further her career. I'm not taking part in that. I'll offer my own or something like that.
Yeah.
She
totally could have done that.
That would have been the more, but also, because yes, there is an issue for me with Marjorie Taylor Greene being the one to put forth that amendment, because we know she's a fucking craven.
We are ceding ground. We are ceding ground to white nationalists and white supremacists, because the Democratic Party is really weak on this issue.
Her explanation to me was worse than her voting against it, because her explanation was horrible. I am a AOC supporter. I like her. I think, like I said, I think a lot of times people knock her for the wrong things. But this one, fully on board with everyone who's criticizing her for it. It was just bad.
It's like the thing I was explaining to this Democrat, and also to my friends, as I was talking about AOC, and her whole role in the Democratic Party is that she is supposed to be pushing the window for that party. And Al Green is not a socialist. He's like a normal liberal. And like the way she talked about it, like she should have just said, I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so I'm not going to vote for it. Like that would have been such a better explanation. But instead she said this about being in good company with white supremacists. And it's like, dude, Al Green is a mixed black man from Texas. Are you saying that he's being chummy with white supremacists? That's kind of gross. It's a stupid thing.
I didn't see her say that part. I just saw the Iron Dome thing, which actually bothers me more than even what you're saying. She said, I thought the Iron Dome excuse was so infuriating. I could not believe she put that out. I was really disappointed.
When it comes to other stuff with politics and Zoran, I was talking to my friend, and he was really concerned about stuff with Zoran and thinking that the government is going to get him or something. And I was talking to him about this, and let me just say, this is not a threat. This is not anything. I'm a joker. I'm a random person on the internet. I do not think it would be a smart move for the FBI to try and kill Zoran. The only two things that they can do if they don't want Zoran to be mayor is to somehow trip him up and to get him to start having really bad political instincts and fuck up and make his base lose confidence in him. The other thing they could do is shoot him in the head. And I was explaining to my friend
let's not get so explicit here. That's
well, I mean, they've killed political figures that are on the left before, but I was saying that it would be a really stupid idea for them to do that.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I
don't think so either.
I think I'm not saying some crazy right winger wouldn't try to do that, but I don't think the government is going to do that. Not because I trust the government, but I think the worst possible thing you could do right now, if you are the federal government, the Trump administration's government, during a moment when your conspiracy theorist-addled base is fucking angry at you over the Epstein Files, is to create another conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Well, the thing for me that I was trying to explain to my friend is I was just we had stuff in the past where somebody who was like, a Mom Donnie-like figure, and like I'm talking about people in the counterculture in the 60s and in the 70s, and how those movements were, kind of dismantled by the federal government, and how like the leaders of those movements were assassinated. And I was kind of explaining, like propaganda and stuff, and like how we taught that history. And yeah, a lot of like Trump's base are people who were like, yeah, the FBI was like killing hippies and like counterculture people, and like protesting college students. Like that was messed up. I don't think that like the appetite is there for anything like that. And yeah, like it would definitely be another conspiracy theory, but also New York City would just like, it would be like, honestly, I think it would have a bigger impact on the ability for New York to be governed than 2001. I think it would be more of a long-term disruption to the city, like over a period of like months or a year. But yeah, it's best to not like focus on that. And I was basically saying it doesn't make any sense for them to do that. It doesn't help them to do that. And so he's probably just gonna win. I don't see them Fred Hamptoning Zoran Mamdani.
No. Yeah, but thanks for the call, Ren. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about, or?
I guess like a little bit about Israel.
Sure. Oh, I actually want to talk about the Superman movie. You just reminded me. Have you seen it?
Superman? Oh, go for it.
Have
no,
you seen
I've not seen it yet, but feel free to go off on it.
Okay, so I saw the Superman movie. My son wanted to see it, and so my wife did not. She's not a fan of Superman, and so I took him, and it was his first like non-kids or family movie in the theater. It was just me and him. The first time we've gone to a movie, just me and him. And
wow,
I don't know why I'm throwing that apart. It has nothing to do with what I'm going to say, but what was the name of the place again? In the Superman movie. Hold on 1 second. All right, Baravia. And
yes, Baravia,
and what's the other place? Jarhanpur. Okay.
Jarhanpur.
Now we mentioned this on the Majority Board because Emma saw the movie last week. So on last Thursday she brought it up, and I had no clue it was going to be so heavy-handed. I know James Gunn is out there saying, "Oh, I wrote this before, even before October 2023." This was not at all. It was so fucking heavy-handed that Baravia was supposed to be Israel and Jarhanpur, Palestine. I don't believe it for a second that he didn't have this in mind when he was writing it. And if he did not
to get fired again.
If he did not, then what a fucking whirlwind of coincidences for this to have happened this way. It is absolutely. I'm trying not to be spoiled. People worry about spoilers. I'm not going to be spoilers. I'm not going to do spoilers. But the Baravia Jarhanpur being that world's version of Israel Palestine was so fucking in your face. I loved it. It was so good, down to the president or prime minister, the leader of Baravia was so clearly fucking Netanyahu. Like, oh my God, the accents they gave the Baravians. Holy shit, come on. The people of Jarhanpur.
Was he talking like this the entire time?
The people of Jarhanpur, the kids holding up the flag with the Superman logo on it. Oh my, it was so obviously the Palestinians. It was Baravia being the ally of the U.S. and Superman getting involved to help the people of Jarhanpur, even though Baravia was our ally, and the Baravian government working with the evil Lex Luthor, who's working with the U.S. government to work together to take over Jarhanpur and split it up between Baravia and Lex Luthor, for Lex Luthor to have part of Jarhanpur for his own little Trump land or whatever.
That's Trump Gaza.
It
That's
was
Trump Gaza.
so fucking obvious. I don't understand how anyone could believe that they did not write this with this shit in mind. And like I said, if they did not, then maybe someone leaked the Superman script to the U.S. government and the Israeli government, and they fucking copied.
And they said, we need to do that for real.
Yeah, and they copied the Superman script. Because the fucking superhero, the supervillain that Superman is fighting in the beginning of the movie is named the Hammer of Baravia. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Like, that's such a... It's
The Lion of Israel.
I mean, I've heard the phrase the Hebrew hammer before. I think that was a movie that came out or something like that. It was supposed to very much be Israel and Palestine. I'm sorry. It was I can't believe for a second it wasn't supposed to fucking be Israel and Palestine. And Lois Lane in the movie is arguing with Clark Kent, who she knows is Superman. This is not a spoiler. This is stuff that they off the bat. This is not like an origin story. Right off the bat in this movie, they tell you we are in this world already. Lois Lane knows who Superman is, such and such. What I'm telling you, I'm being very careful to make sure I'm not ruining what are actually spoilers in the movie. But she's arguing with him because she's doing an interview with him, and she mentioned something like how Jarhan Poor has some not so alluding to the fact that they have ties with terrorism or whatever. And
do you condemn Hamas?
And Superman is like, we don't know that for sure, and that this is a propaganda that's been put out. And she's like, yes, I know, but that's the line that's out there. It was so fucking obvious it was Israel and Palestine. It was unbelievable.
And then she asks why he got involved, and he just screams, people were going to die, right?
Oh, yes. Why he got involved is people were going... This is the best Superman movie I've ever seen. This is I wanted to talk more about it. I am usually not a big fan of Superman, the superhero, like from the comics. He's never been my favorite. He's too strong, too perfect, too happy-go-lucky. I always had issues with that. A superhero needs to have, his struggles. Yes, it's why Spider-Man's always been my favorite. It also helps that he's from Queens. But also I'm a big fan of Gambit because I think he looks cool, and I'm a big fan of the Cajun accent. But that's another story for another day. But anyway. But I've always enjoyed Superman generally in the movies. But the same sort of thing was the issue with the other Superman movies. This Superman was fucking perfect. This was the best Superman. This might be one of the best superhero movies. Easily the best Superman. It was so good. If you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It was, if you saw the Zack Snyder Man of Steel one, like this, it makes this movie even better because everything wrong with that Superman movie is the opposite in this one. Like in the Man of Steel,
I was gonna make an awful joke about saying, so this is the best one since Captain America: Civil War. This is the best one since Ant-Man, right? But I didn't know if you know that I was being sarcastic.
Right. This is DC. That's Marvel. Yeah. No, but anyway, this Superman was so good because it was it was the closest to how Superman should be and how he was in the comics, and not the stuff I don't like about Superman. The stuff I do like about Superman, about how he actually is probably the most moral of all superheroes. He never wants to hurt anybody that doesn't deserve it. In Man of Steel, for example, they're fucking destroying the whole city having a fight. In this one, Superman literally goes out of his way to save like squirrels and stuff. Like most of the Superman scenes in this movie aren't him even battling. It's him trying to figure out how to move the battle out away from where it could hurt people. And that's what the real quote unquote Superman would be like. And like this Superman was so good. I also, it helps that like there's a whole, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but it doesn't do with the storyline. There's a fucking punk rock arc for Superman in this movie, and I could not believe it, but it's awesome and it's great, and I love it. Superman's adoptive parents in this movie were fantastic, the best in any of the Superman movies. Just I truly really fucking love this movie, and the fact that Israel Palestine like storyline is in it certainly adds a lot to it in my feelings for it. But like genuinely, for me to feel this good about a movie does not usually happen. It was that good. I highly recommend seeing it. Can't say the same about the Jurassic World movie I saw.
Jurassic World? Like the one
that's-
from 2016?
No, there's a new Jurassic World movie with Scarlett Johansson.
There's a new one?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was actually fine for a Jurassic World movie. It was actually good. Just fun.
You know,
movie to watch.
I've been burnt out. I've been
me,
burnt out on that franchise since I was like 14.
For me, a movie that I obsess over is a movie that I'm thinking about when I leave the movie theater for days. Jurassic World was great. I left the movie theater fucking forgetting about it the second I left the movie. I had fun watching it though. It was a good movie. Superman, I saw it for my son yesterday. I'm still thinking about it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Last thing. Before I drop off the call and give somebody else space. Did you want to hear about some shit with Israel, or do you want to just hear me talk about some military stuff and how I feel about the military now?
We could continue the conversation about Israel. What did you want to say? Because I remember you said you wanted to say something, and that's what maybe bring up Superman because of. I
actually spent some time thinking about the day after that Israel is defeated militarily, and there's the opportunity to have there be a new government and to try and fix things a bit. And I actually spent a decent amount of time thinking about, talking about, arguing about it with some people that I know and some people that were kind of being awful about it. But I was talking about capital punishment, and we were talking about drawing distinctions between civilians and military, and that a government should never have the right to kill its subjects. Capital punishment for civilians shouldn't exist, but that for state actors that are committing genocide, sometimes the person is so dangerous and has such a threat and kind of makes it impossible for society to move on that you have to kill them. I don't know. How do you feel about that type of conversation?
Wait, say that. I want to make sure I have it straight. Say it again. The gist.
We were talking about the day after.
Right.
We were talking about the day after that Israel's defeated militarily, and about having a Hague trial.
You're already, I think, looking well beyond Israel being defeated.
The acceptable discourse.
When is who's facing Israel? You know what I mean? Who's taking Israel to task?
Well, it's the idea is that you do boycott, divestment, and sanctions. You get people to actually be militant about it. You get people to do BDS. I mean, the Houthis, did boycott, divestment, and sanctions by preventing ships from going in, and Israel's Red Sea port has closed down recently, and that's going to have some economic impact on the country. And basically what you do is you weaken Israel monetarily, and that increases social problems in Israel. It increases the amount of people who say, this isn't worth staying here, and they go somewhere else. And eventually, if you do boycott, divestment, and sanctions, and you get some Western governments to put on the pressure a little bit, it could totally be that, we see it go the way of South Africa, and there ends up being a new government or a new regime in power.
That would be obviously, I think, a good scenario. I just don't. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're anywhere.
No,
close
we're not
to
there. No, we're not there.
Yeah.
And when I'm thinking about these things, I'm thinking about stuff 5-10 years at least in the future. But I believe this was from Bad Hezbollah, with Matthew Lieb and Daniel Mate, and they were talking about, I think Daniel was talking about how he responded to one of the Israeli propaganda ministers, and he said, I don't care if it's 15 or 20 or 30 or 35 years from now, but you will go to jail for this, and you will be held accountable. And talking about how that made him feel a lot better. And talking to this guy on the internet that's doing propaganda for a genocide and saying, one day you're going to get held accountable. And if it's 10 years or 30 years, it doesn't matter. It's going to come one day. And I don't know, I was talking with people about how you would fix it. And basically the way you would fix it would be to, do what you did with the Nazis. You hold trials in a court of law, you decapitate the leadership, people that need to go to jail. And, something that wasn't done in Germany that I wish had been done is that there would be, integration, racial integration, and specifically teaching the kids to be anti-fascist in schools, actually really reckoning with the legacy of it. And things with how it's going to look after Israel and Palestine unify, or there's a one-state solution, it's going to be fucking sad. Even after the killing stops, it's going to be fucking sad, because people that breathe in smoke and dust from collapsed buildings and all this other stuff, all these kids that already lost their parents or lost a limb, they're going to be getting cancer in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And it's going to be such a drain. It's going to be incredibly depressing and sad. It's going to be one of the saddest things going on in the world constantly for the next 20 years. But I really feel if you take, the people that, have basically become sociopaths with a respectable government job, people that, are comparing the bodies of kids that they kill and giving extra points for headshots, and you go, nope, all of those people that did that, they got tried, they were found guilty, they hung, the people who did it are dead. The people who, were culpable that didn't orchestrate it, they're in jail. And it's a new day, and we're moving forward, and this can't happen again. I don't know, I know that things suck right now, but thinking about that and thinking about what that looks like has made me feel so much better, even if it's 10 years, 15 years from now. It makes me feel so much better to think about a world where that integration happens, where people are held accountable, and where that generation of kids that grow up going to school with Arabs and that grow up being integrated become adults, and that maybe there could be some healing in the world.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I
That's
think
very long-winded, but thanks for letting me say it.
No, everyone needs something to, hold on to. I hear you.
Thanks for picking up the call, Matt.
No, it's
Take
always
care.
a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, and I guess I'm just not as I'm not feeling as positive about this specific topic, I guess. You know?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It feels impossible to see any way out. But I'll talk to you later. Take care, Matt.
Take care. All right, let's go back to the phones. I don't know why, but the phone line, the phone app froze. I had to refresh. Call back in. Uh, let's see. There we go. 910. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, it's Henry from North Carolina.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Listen, the one thing I've been wanting to talk to somebody about is the kind of rhetoric that we use when we debate the people on the right. And so, like, one of my concerns is that they're very good at, like, disarming us, getting us upset. And they use it by, like, being racist, that sort of thing. It upsets us. And the problem with that is it makes us look weak, right? If you don't seem confident in your argument, you seem weak. And part of that's because if you use the kind of insults that rattle somebody, it gets them off their game, right? And we don't use the kinds of arguments, the kinds of insults that rattle people on the right. We call them stupid. They don't care. We call them hypocrites. They don't care about that because they want to be in charge and they don't think the rules should apply to them anyway. So calling them stupid, calling them hypocrites, that doesn't work. One thing that we have been doing more of lately is calling them weak. And we need to do more of that because they do not want to be weak. They don't want to be seen as weak. They don't want to be thought of as weak. So we need to do more of that. Call them weak. Call their arguments weak. Say that they're mentally weak, spiritually weak, morally weak. Calling them fake Christians, they don't care about that because they think that they're saved. But calling them spiritually weak, they're not going to like that. Anything that makes them feel like they might not be superior, anything that makes them feel like they're not any better than we are, that's the kind of thing that will rattle them. And that's the kind of thing that we need to do more of. Because we need to remember that there are other audiences watching these conversations that we have. And people, we need to look strong. Clinton was an asshole and possibly a pedophile, but he was right about some things, in that strong and wrong is better than weak and right. And we need to do more of that. We need to do more of those sorts of insults that rattle them. Calling them stupid, calling them losers, that doesn't work either, because they're in power right now. You can call Cuomo a loser, though. Cuomo is a loser. You can definitely call Cuomo a loser. That'll work. But calling the Trump people losers, that's not going to work right now. We need insults that rattle them. So the one I think we should add to our repertoire is calling them lazy. They don't want to be seen as lazy. And they're lazy as F. They are so lazy. Their arguments are lazy. They don't pick up a book and read. They don't form good arguments because they don't know what they're talking about. They're dumb because they don't bother to pick up a book and read. They don't bother to formulate their arguments well. So we should call them lazy more. I mean, look at Sarah Palin, the laziest people ever. Never picked up a briefing book in her life. I remember Nicole Wallace getting really upset about that because it's like she wouldn't pick up a briefing book. She wanted to be one step away from the presidency, and she wouldn't bother to read briefing books. Like, I'm talking to my prayer warriors. Yeah, that's great, but you have a job to do. You need to read, and they don't want to do that. So lazy is the one that I think we should add to our repertoire. Anyway, I was wondering what you thought about all that.
No, I think that's some good points there, honestly. I think you thought a lot about this, honestly, and I think you're onto something here. I don't know if what did you say was what that doesn't work on them? I want to make sure I had it right. Like you mentioned like what not to do.
I think there's some arguments that don't work. Calling them stupid, calling them
Yeah.
like I said, calling them losers when they've won an election recently. Like Cuomo's a loser, right? You can call him a loser. But calling the Trump people a loser, they've won an election recently. So calling them a loser doesn't work. Calling them stupid, they don't care. Calling them hypocrites, that doesn't work either because they don't think that the rules should apply to them. They think that they're better than everybody else. So they don't calling them, well, hey, you don't follow the rules that you apply to them. Yeah, that's the point.
Right.
That's the point. They're better than we are. They don't have to follow the rules. So calling them a hypocrite, I don't care about that.
No, I think that's yeah.
Yeah, weak and lazy. So yeah, I want to use some of the same tactics, the same sort of tactics and things that they use against us, and very effectively. They're very good at it. But you flip it around on them, they don't like that. I think you were on the Majority Report last time I called in. I suggested that we raise the minimum wage to $17.76 because.
Oh right, and I said we might be giving them a bad idea, and they'll move it to
you said
they'll move it to 1488.
They might want 1488. No, don't want to do that. But if you suggest 1776, it puts them in the position of trying to attack 1776. I'm like, what? You don't like 1776? Why don't you like 1776?
Yeah, I think
I love 1776. What, you don't love 1776 the way that I do? Why don't you love America the way that I love America?
Yeah, I think you're onto something here.
It's so disappointing that you don't love America. Why don't you love 1776 the way the rest of us do? Why don't you just love America? You know, those arguments, they've used them and they're effective, but we need to sort of flip some of that around and throw it back at them. Because, I mean, those people on the fence, the people who aren't paying much attention to politics, they're swayed by emotional arguments. They're swayed by confidence. You know, if you rattle them, you throw them off their game. And we need to do more of that.
Yeah. No, I think you make some really good points here, honestly. I do think that yeah, you're right though. Like it's easy to just call them stupid, but who cares? They don't care about that, especially when they've won, right? And or the losers, I should say. Yeah, I mean, I just think sometimes the best way to go about it is to just let them talk. Like, let them just run their mouth, let them just hold on. Why do I have 6,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube? What the fuck just happened? Who did I get rated or something? What's going on here? Why? What happened? What's going on here? Hey, everybody. Jeez.
I don't know. But some of the same tactics that they use, like doing things like, like before the Iraq War, they kept trying to connect Saddam and 9/11, even though you put it in the same sentence over and over again. So you can do things like, it would be wrong to say that Trump killed Epstein because there's no evidence that Trump killed Epstein. So we don't want to tell people that Trump killed Epstein. I mean, that's not true. So you don't want to say that. I mean, let's just be clear.
We should actually talk about the Epstein stuff. Do you want to stick around while we talk about the Epstein stuff? Because
we definitely should talk about Epstein stuff.
That's
yeah,
one
but
of the
I don't want
things
to tell people that Trump killed Epstein because there is no evidence to suggest that Trump killed Epstein.
Well, I've said this before. I don't think that Trump. Let's put it this way. Before these past few weeks, I was someone who thought that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, but it is very possible that he was provided the means or the opportunity to kill himself by outside forces. Like, who knows who? Rich people, very wealthy, connected individuals, perhaps even the various people in the government who could be implicated by Jeffrey Epstein and the files. But I thought even if the opportunity was given to him and the means were given to him, I still thought at the end of the day, he very likely killed himself. Obviously, there would be a scandal there in terms of why, like how he went about it and how he was given the ability to do so. But the way Trump has been acting over these past couple of weeks, I truly fucking believe that there is a possibility that he did not kill himself now. The way that he has been acting, I've never seen someone act more guilty. It's like, listen, I have 3 children. 2 of them old enough to lie to me. And they are not good liars. And I know exactly when my kids are concocting a story or are nervously trying to like play something off or push something aside because they don't want me to dig deep. I'm going to give an example. My son probably is not going to like this one. But my son recently didn't do good on a test. By the way, his version of not doing good on a test was getting like a 95 or something like that. But he didn't want me to know that he got a 95. He really thought 95 was bad. Like he usually does very good. 95 is still very good, but he usually even does better. But he was so ashamed of the 95 that he was lying to me about not getting the test back. Now, I knew he was lying to me about not getting the test back because he was so bad at lying to me. When I would ask him about it, he would just give me a blank face and be like, "What are you talking about? What test?" And then he'd eventually just come to, oh, that test. Yeah, we didn't get it back yet. I knew he was lying because of his reaction. It's the same way Trump is acting right now, like a fucking small child trying to lie for the first time. It is the biggest tell to me was the one where he was like, "Oh, the Epstein Files are fake. Obama made them. No, Biden made them. No, Comey made them. Hillary made them."
It's more.
He was just throwing
It's
shit
kind of like
at
that.
a wall.
It's more like.
It's
more like you've ever known a kid who gets away with stuff, who constantly got away with stuff, and then suddenly they actually get in trouble after getting away with it and getting away with it.
Right.
That sort of panic.
Right. He's
that kind.
he's
It's
fucking
that kind of
panicking.
panic. It's like because he does
Whoever
not.
told you hiring a house?
He is terrified of facing consequences because he almost has never faced any.
He is fucking
terrified,
panicking right now. And there are 7,000 people, according to YouTube, watching this right now. If you are actually watching this and are a human being and not a bot, which I'm assuming there's got to be bots. I don't know why there's so many people on this feed right now. But if you're an actual human being, hit that thumbs up button so I know real people are watching. Hit the like button so I know real people are watching, because I don't believe what's going on right now. Maybe people are that fucking interested in the Epstein thing. But 100%. Oh, and then someone just brought up the edited thing. I forgot to mention that. The fucking video they put out. The video they put out.
Stupid.
The video they put out. So
even people who don't know tech stuff at all know about metadata at this point. What are you doing? They're so incompetent. They're so incompetent. They accidentally added a reporter to a freaking top secret freaking chat about war. It's not a war plans. Yeah, they're attack plans. What the hell? They're so stupid. How does anyone think these people are smart? They're dumb as Oh, can I curse on here?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah,
God, they're dumb as fuck.
Just in case you don't know what we're talking about. So they put out a video purportedly from the jail. Now, it's not the jail cell. It's like a security camera from outside, like in the hallway where there's like the doors. And one of those is Jeffrey Epstein's, where they're holding him. And they released this footage purporting that this is proof that no one went in, because this is hours when during the hours where Epstein would have apparently killed himself. And they put out this video, and people looked into the metadata because someone noticed, or multiple people noticed, I think CoffeeZilla was one of the people who noticed, that the camera footage jumps like a minute or two, maybe even 3 minutes, because there's like a timer in the bottom. And their response, the Trump administration's response to that was like, oh, the way security cameras are, like it resets, like it stops, like the camera stops and then starts again. And now I actually believe that, because as someone who, let me rephrase, I believe that could have happened at first, because as someone who works with a lot of cameras, I know that there are indeed cameras that do that, like especially cameras that are constantly on, because they don't want to overheat, or they don't want a long file to be, they don't want to output a large long file, because if the file gets corrupted, instead of losing like an hour in a corrupted file, you lose like 8 hours or 12 hours. So there are security cameras that actually do that. They stop and then restart really quick to create a new file. So that was possible until someone actually looked at the metadata and found out that it was fucking edited. That they actually physically brought it into like an editing program and edited the footage to cut out a portion. Now, why was this cut out? Why would they cut this out? What could be in these 2 to 3 minutes that's so incriminating that they needed to cut out? Does someone walk in the room? Does someone... What? Like, listen, like I said, if you were to tell me that someone went in there and snuffed out Jeffrey Epstein a couple years ago, I would have said no. Even if he didn't, even if you're a conspiracy theorist, the most logical conspiracy theory is someone gave him the means to kill himself. But now, I would not be shocked to find that fucking Donald Trump went in there himself with a shotgun. And that was what was cut out of the footage. Like,
I honestly don't. I don't necessarily think. I'll be honest. I think he probably did kill himself. I think probably the cameras is probably some stupid technical bullcrap. It's probably not. But the thing is that it doesn't matter. Their behavior has made it so bad that the only way you could recover from this is by putting all your cards on the table and being straight and honest with people, and they're fundamentally incapable of doing that. So they can't do it because of their incompetence. So they can't come clean and be like, here's everything, so we're going to be honest with you. You can't do that now, so it looks bad, so we keep harping on it. Even though we think maybe the answers are innocent. Doesn't matter. Keep bringing up the tape. Keep bringing up Epstein. Keep calling him lazy and stupid and weird. Weird is also good. I don't know why they made Tim Walz stop using weird. Call J.D. Vance a couch fucker. Constantly call him a couch fucker, because it makes him see. Because look, I mean, you wouldn't be able to get away with calling Mitt Romney or John McCain a couch fucker. We wouldn't, but he is a couch fucker because he's weird, he's creepy, and he seems like the kind of guy who doesn't really know the difference between a woman and an inanimate object.
I mean, did you see this latest that just came out where apparently Pam Bondi gave Trump the heads up that he's in the Epstein Files?
Yep.
And that's from
the wall.
Like, first of all, if that's true, then that means the Epstein Files exist. Like, their whole talking point has been there's no such thing as the Epstein Files. We looked into it; they don't exist. But if
Well,
Pam
no,
Bondi
I think
warned
they've
him,
admitted.
if Pam Bondi warned him he's in it, what? In the files that don't exist?
Well, I think they've admitted that there's files. They're saying that there's no client list. I don't know how they could, which is kind of an
then what
you're playing
files?
semantic games
What
there. You're playing bullshit
What
there.
files was he in?
Right. Of course. Right.
But they're gonna come out and be like,
question.
"Oh, right, you got me. I did warn Trump he was in the files, but you left out the part where I was like, Jeffrey Epstein had a list of people who were never his clients, people who Jeffrey Epstein had a people who threw me out of Mar-a-Lago list, and Trump was on that.
Yeah,
list.
that's it.
That's the list. That's how Trump was in the files. But
Jeffrey
Epstein,
people who were invited to parties with nobody else in attendance other than a bunch of underage girls. There was a party,
right.
and Epstein was the only guest.
Jeffrey
Epstein,
on
that list.
Jeffrey Epstein had his child trafficking list of clients, and then he had a list of people not to contact because they are definitely 100% not interested in it. And Trump was the one guy on that list.
Sure.
That's what happened. I mean, listen, there was a list of people, and Epstein had a arch enemy list of people trying to stop me from child trafficking. And Trump was the guy on that list. Trump was he had a list of people to watch out for because they're trying to stop me, Jeffrey Epstein, from trafficking children. And Trump was the guy on that list. That's what happened. That was a big misunderstanding, folks.
Right.
I mean, what do they want us to believe next? What do they want us to believe next?
Yeah.
Again, more people are watching. I don't understand how this is happening. If you're a real human being and not a bot, be sure to hit that thumbs up button just so I get an idea of how many people are actually watching. I must have got caught by a bot of some sort or something. How did this happen?
I got to tell you, I know that you have these shows, but you suddenly popped up in my like suggested tonight.
Oh, really?
I don't think. Yeah, I hadn't had before. I mean, I know about your stuff, and obviously I know who you are. But you popped up as, oh, you're doing a call-in show right now? All right, I'll hop on that. So maybe you're maybe you please the algorithm in some way. You must have sacrificed a goat or something. I don't know.
Maybe I got caught, but maybe I need to fucking take advantage of this and do like non-stop. Good thing I'm doing Leftist Mafia tomorrow. That's another day of shows. Because, geez. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what else do I want to talk about? Do you have anything else to talk about, or I could go to the next call? I guess it's up to you. You want to keep it going, or?
Well, you already talked about Superman. I'm also a comic nerd, and I love that.
Have you seen the Superman movie?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's wonderful, fantastic. The dog is one of the best parts. I was very skeptical about putting crypto in a Superman movie.
Oh,
I was not.
We didn't even
sure
talk about
that. The dog was perfect.
First of all, really quick. Also, if you're watching here for the first time, you're one of these 7,000 plus people in this room. If you're real, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. I'm talking about the free thing, so that way when I go live and you get my stuff in your feed. Hit that subscribe button. But back to Superman. The thing about crypto was they made him like a real. We have a dog, and I have never seen a more accurate portrayal of a dog on screen in my life. And this was a superhero dog. They didn't make him out to be some fucking like super like hero dog, even though he had powers. He was just like a real dog that they had to figure out how to like work into their favor. Like he wasn't like aware of what was going on and like saving the day. No, he was doing dog things, but he just could fly and had super strength.
He was a little bit smarter I think, than an average dog. I mean, an average dog isn't going to drag his owner back to his ice fortress. But
he Superman had to convince him real hard to
yeah,
fucking
he
do
does.
that.
He does. That's true.
And think about anything he
Yeah.
does to help. None of it is like, Crypto, we got to fight this guy and save the day. No. It was, Crypto, fetch, get the ball. And that's why he went after those cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hopeful, and Superman being the anti-Klan, anti-fascist, pro FDR, a character that he started out as.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any superhero that's right wing. Even the superheroes that, I mean, of the, that aren't trying to be right wing to make a point, like Homelander from The Boys. But like even like the ones that the right have co-opted, like the Punisher, they completely misunderstand
Yep.
like the point of the Punisher, and who the Punisher is. And the fact that the Punisher is literally a fucking vigilante. Why cops love him is the funniest fucking thing in the world. The whole point is that he's a vigilante who doesn't. Yeah, I'm not even. It's not even. It's just. I don't want to go on a whole nother tangent here.
Yeah, maybe Hawkman is kind of conservative. There's a few others.
Hawkman? You mean Hawkeye?
The Hawkman from DC.
Hawkman from DC. I mean, right. See, I was never. I was never that big of a DC guy. Like I knew the bigger DC, the main Justice League people. Like for example, I was unfamiliar with Mr. Terrific. I did not know. I was not familiar with the character until this movie. I might have come across him in a comic or two, but not much. I was a Marvel person growing up. My dad would get me all throughout the 90s. I have boxes full of Marvel comics from the 90s. Somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was my thing. DC never really spoke to me in the same way as Marvel did. This Superman movie though was so good though. Like I'm almost upset that it was a DC movie. I actually, you know what? I think the most recent Batman movie was really good too. The one with Robert. The one with Robert Pattinson.
I've seen it.
He actually makes he makes a fantastic Batman. Actually, I can't believe
I've heard good.
Yeah,
I've heard good things. I have not seen it.
I guess the Dark Knight movies in their own little world were good.
They're very good.
But you want to watch them for the villains, which kind of like I don't think like the allure of those movies to me was Joker and Bane, not really Batman. Whereas like Superman was great in this movie. Like I wanted to see Superman.
And what's his name? Holt did a great job with Lex. I mean, they've updated the character to make him like a tech billionaire type.
I was worried because I remember what's his face played Lex Luthor, in the
right.
And the guy who played Lex Luthor in this one always felt like, in the same wheelhouse as what's his face. Who was the guy who played him last time? The guy who played Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh,
right?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah,
Eisenberg.
And I always felt like the two of them, like not the same actor, obviously, but like the same sort of wheelhouse of acting. But no, he Zack Snyder did not understand Superman.
Yeah, no.
I'm someone who really enjoyed his Dawn of the Dead remake. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen. That put him on the map. That was that was his first movie, his first big movie, studio movie in 2004. And then I really enjoyed 300. I thought 300 was perfect for what it is. But you know what? That's because the source material is so close to a Zack Snyder-like fucking movie. Giving him the DC.
He's a great cinematographer. He can set up a shot. His movies are beautiful. Sucker Punch is beautiful.
Sucker Punch is forgettable as shit, though. Sucker Punch was my first.
Yeah, it is because the plot and the characters don't work. The characters don't resonate emotionally. The one line about Sucker Punch is good is when she's talking to the security guard, and she's like, "Yeah, you hurt people. You like hurting people." He's like, "It's part of the job." And she says, it's the reason you took the job. I was like, that's the only line in that movie that I remember, because it was telling. It was good about a crappy security guard cop character. It was very well. It was well put. But that's like the only. I loved Watchmen growing up, and his Watchmen sucked.
That one has its moments. I think that one suffered from being too.
It had a few moments.
I think it suffered from being too long, way too long. And I'm not someone who's against long movies. It just it needs to be long with a purpose. And I felt like that movie got to a point where it was like, are you serious? It's still going? Like, let's cut some things out. Let's wrap it up. He did what's his face. He did what's his face really good. Who's the one that everyone fucking loves in that movie? The fucking splotch.
Rorschach.
Yes.
Rorschach.
He was very good in that movie. Everyone else, but he was very good in that movie. I thought his DC movies were bad. He really fucked up the DC world. And I think James Gunn is gonna put it back. I don't know how James Gunn's gonna do a Batman movie though. Batman doesn't seem like a James Gunn superhero, but I guess we'll see. Batman is the one.
He'll have somebody else do it.
Batman's the one comic book movie that has to be dark, because that's the comic book itself too. I always loved Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, except for the third one. But I don't think anyone. But I always thought the first and second Spider-Man movie was the pinnacle of great comic book movies, because Sam Raimi really understood how to toe that line of making a serious, dramatic action movie, but also making it feel like a comic book, and giving it the lighter air to it, while still making you care about the characters and making it serious. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think the chat wants me to get off the line.
All right.
The phone.
All right. So I'll take.
Again,
how have I been going? I don't even know at this point. I'll take another call. Let me hang up. Great call, by the way. I really enjoyed talking with you about this.
Good talking about it. I'm Henry from North Carolina, so I'll hopefully talk to you again.
Thank you for reminding me about the 1776 thing. I actually wanted to cut that clip for myself, but I can't remember what episode it was on. Do you remember what episode of Majority Report it was on?
Oh crap! Hold on, I can tell you.
Oh, you know? Oh shit.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm a fucking. I think it's March 27th.
March 27th? It was that long ago?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh,
I thought it was maybe
double check here.
I thought it was maybe May or June.
Yeah, March. I think it's March 27th.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
All right. I'll have to. Wow. Time flies, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Have a great night. Thank you so much for the call. This was a great conversation.
Good to talk to you, Matt.
Take care. All right, let's go to the next call. 704. Oh, the thing froze again. I'm so sorry. 704, call right back in. I'll take your call right away. 704, call right back in. I'll take your call right away. All right, here we go. 704, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Bender. Chris from North Carolina.
Hey, Chris from North Carolina. What's up? What do we have to talk about?
Well, what's up? I just wanted to say Jeffrey Epstein was innocent, and so was Donald. I can't even get the bullshit out of my mouth, man. How's your week been so far, bro?
That was very funny. I'm sorry, because it was unexpected. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, hey, one other thing about it. I heard you were in the files, but it was something about massaging men's feet. Did they have you working over there, Bender?
Did they have who?
Did they have you working over there, or were you in the files too? Something about massaging old man's feet.
I don't massage no feet. Or was I getting? Are you saying I was massaged?
No. We won't go there. I was just, I just heard from somebody named Sam Cedar that you possibly were in the files from. Maybe they had you over there massaging the older men's feet.
Oh right, I guess back when this was happening, right? I was what they say he was doing this in what, like the early 2000s, right?
The early 2000s. Well, let's see.
I would have been
The
in my
timeline.
I would have
God, he
been
probably did it his whole life, Matt. To be
right,
honest,
but
I
like
mean,
early 2000s is when he got sent to jail for it, right? So like I would have been in
2000.
that
I
age range. I would have
graduated.
been in that like mid-teens that he was going after.
Oh,
But no,
really? Well,
I'm not in the Epstein files. As far as
yeah.
I know.
Oh, I knew well. I knew well.
I mean,
How are the kids
the kid,
and the new baby?
everyone's doing great. Everyone's doing good.
Great.
I appreciate you talking about the Epstein files and then segueing right into asking how
Yeah,
my
yeah.
church.
I was about to say that too. Wait, the Epstein file stuff was a joke. I was being serious about
No, I
family,
know,
but
no,
you
I
knew
know,
that.
I know. I just thought it was funny.
Have you been able to get any sleep?
Uh, it's random. There'll be nights where I get no sleep, and there'll be nights where I get too much sleep. I'll get
Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
The
you're
baby
a
is
straight edge.
yeah. The baby is actually she's in a now. If you're not familiar with babies, at this age, uh, they get into different modes. Like
Hmm.
the week after she was born, she did not sleep at all during the night. And then
Ooh.
over the past week or two, she's been sleeping pretty good throughout the night. Like I think the other night she slept from like 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. She woke up, changed her, was fed a bottle, and then maybe fell back asleep an hour later till about, I don't know, like 6 a.m., which is pretty good for a baby. But also
Yeah.
like that could change. Like they change so rapidly at this age that like, who knows what the next week holds. Next week she could
Well, how
be
much sleep do you really need? I mean, I
babies are
guess
supposed to sleep a
I'm 40.
lot.
No, babies. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about you. I mean, uh, do you actually need any sleep at this point in your life?
They say you should get like 8 hours still, right? I'm not like that old yet. I'm not
Oh,
that
but
old yet. I know
I
like
think I
I know
I'd like to hear our F. Kennedy Jr.'s opinion on that.
I know
I
there
just
are like I know like once you get like really old, like they say you could like I remember my grandma, she would be like up at like, you know, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. or ready to go, like just like naturally. And she would go to bed the night before to like midnight or whatever, if even. And she was up at the crack of dawn, like just like I know that when you get to a certain age, apparently you need less sleep. But I don't think I'm in my 70s, 80s, 90s quite yet.
yeah. Well, hey man, I know it's getting late, and if you want to take another call, that's cool. So I'll keep it short. I just really wanted to call and say what was up, and tell you and your audience that we love you down here in North Carolina. If you ever come, uh, somehow I want to get up with you. And do you eat barbecue?
Oh, I'm a big barbecue guy.
Barbecue, Eastern North Carolina barbecue.
Ooh.
That's yes, yes, sir. It's the best in the country.
I would really love
But
to I would really love to one I know I've mentioned it before, but I would love to do like a live show tour. But that would be like
it would be great. Well, it
yeah.
would be awesome. But I mean, right now it's kind of I can see it being kind of hard for you.
Yes, yes. Also, we would probably need to do
Yeah,
shows here locally first to make sure there was even be an audience for it, and then we could expand.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure there'd be an audience for it. And it would probably expand um as you went through it. You know, uh, just you know, who would it be? You and Bernie, and then you and
Oh
AOC,
yeah, me. We just call them up, be like,
yeah, yeah,
"Hey, hey, Bernie, my buddy. Hey, AOC, my best friend. Let's go on tour."
yeah. And hey, who knows? You might get a VP spot, or at least a spot. I mean, we can at least have you as the ambassador of I don't know you pick a
Moravia.
country since you're going there. Maybe Norway or Denmark. How about
Oh, I
that?
would love that. Oh, I'd love to be the ambassador in
Oh,
Norway. Ooh,
wouldn't it be great?
to move to Norway for like 4 years, that'd be beautiful. I really want. Norway's
Oh,
honestly one of the countries I want to go to. Like, it looks beautiful, and
it,
my daughter, my oldest daughter, would absolutely love it because of Frozen.
yeah, you have to get some new outfits, but I mean, for sure, I mean, it would be it would be definitely a place to go, and if you could get citizenship there, wow. I mean,
I would love
you're
to.
pretty much set. You're
I would
pretty
love
much
to. I would
set
love to
for
be
life.
ambassador to anywhere. I'd happily be ambassador to anywhere. I'd be a damn good ambassador.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Straight edge, but I mean, you gotta, yeah, we're trying, and this I'll wrap it up after this. Sunday, we have one dispensary in North Carolina, and it's actually the biggest dispensary in the whole United States. Only one I've ever been to my whole life. But I have a card to it. You don't need it anymore. You just need it for the first 6 months. But
Ah.
all my doctors are cool with it. But I mean, it's we're going Sunday, and really, what we're going to have to do. A lot of people don't realize gay marriage was one. Yes, it was one in the Supreme Court, but they fought their ass off for years. My great uncle was was closeted his whole life, but he moved to San Francisco and well, actually San Diego. Worked for IBM up there. He was a computer programmer. Taught it to my mom. My mom died at when I was 8 years old of
Oh,
cancer.
I'm sorry.
So he well, thank you. And then he taught me, and then he died in 1996 of brain cancer. So it runs on my mother's side. So you know, got to watch out for that. I just turned 40 last December, so I've I've got scars all over me where they've taken moles off and everything. So
Mm.
keeping that, I know we're going all over the place here from ambassadorship to
No, I
melanoma, but
please listen. That's why I do calls. I
mm,
love every giving people time to talk about whatever topics. 'Cause, I could talk about what everyone else is talking about, but these calls make the show unique.
they do. All right, brother. Well, I just wanted to give you a shout out, tell you we love you from North Carolina, and love your audience, and hopefully you have a good night and get some rest tonight. I know you'll keep those kids uh on the right track. So
I
you have a
appreciate
good
that.
night, brother. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You
man.
too. Take care. I appreciate the
Anytime.
call. Call in
Mhm.
anytime. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, I think maybe I'll take one more call. 347. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Whoa, 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 Mr. Bender.
Oh,
Congratulations.
this person sounds familiar. Is this uh I'm not sure actually.
Just a just a borough away.
Oh, I knew it was Ola, right?
Yep.
How you doing, my friend? I had a
I'm good,
I
I'm
had a
good, I'm good.
feeling, but then I was like, I second guessed it, and I was like, I don't want to be wrong.
It's okay to be wrong, even when trying to be guess. Oh man, I wanted to talk to you for like a while now. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna probably meet up with Bender to canvas with him and whatnot. And it was like, oh, that didn't happen. I was like, oh, he had a kid. Oh snap, all this happened.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get involved as much as I would have liked with the Mamdani. But yeah, this is still the general election, and we gotta make sure he wins.
Yep, yep. And I told the other coordinators because I became like a volunteer lead and I was leading canvases. I think regardless of how they try to figure it out of themselves, I think this is going to be easier than the primary.
Oh,
That's my deep feeling about it.
I do think so if everything goes normally. It's the potential for fuckery that has me concerned. Do you know what I mean?
I yeah, and I think even if like they go like, oh yeah, let's get out the way for like one candidate, even if they consolidate, I don't even think they have a chance. I think they're just lying to themselves. That idea was actually it wasn't Cuomo. Cuomo stole it from Jim Walden. Like he legit stole the idea of like not consolidating because that was already a general point going around from former governor who the fuck remembers him because he only lasted for like 2 years. Um, but it came from Jim Walden because he actually was like, oh yeah, whoever's polling the best by September should be the one uh to be the main guy, and the others should fall back. And Cuomo literally stole that idea, and Jim Walden was on I think Pix 11 saying that, and he was like, yeah, Cuomo got that from me. He kind of just no one gave him credit for it. He's like, okay, and I just think they're just gonna be more outrageous at this point. The only people that are truly voting for Cuomo at this point are just older folks, and like you just gotta snap. Like I've been like talking to them and during the campaign this whole entire time. You gotta snap your fingers and go like, no, wake up, wake up, wake up. You like you just remembered pandemic Cuomo. That's all you remember. You remember the malaise of him, and then you just tell him, oh yeah, no, he's actually Trump's friend. He's actually Trump's friend. Like they buddies. They talk back and forth, but they're actually buddies. They never all that shit is they do that do yeah words. All that shit that they do is basically just for the theater, is for the TV, and they basically are just like they're gonna figure out in the back. Cause there's an interview that he did with what's his name Howard Stern, and Howard Stern was basically saying, hey yeah, how's your relationship with Trump? He's like, oh, I talk to Trump like when I need to multiple times a week, and it's like Howard Stern's like, oh yeah, but he's like, yeah, but we're actually good, and it's like, oh wait, what about your relationship with your brother? And he's like, he's just like, oh yeah, like him and my brother, that's him and me, him and them. But then like he actually said like, how's my is your brother okay? Because remember Chris Cuomo was sick with COVID, and then he was like asking Chris Cuomo if he was okay. That is not an enemy. That is not an op. That is his friend. And you need to establish that to people that they're friends, and that Cuomo has an investigation, and that now this one time friend that you can argue back and forth with can basically flip on you and go like, hey, what you gonna give up for me, your friend? And
Right.
that's what I tell old folks, and they kind of just go like, oh damn. That's my bait to get old folks, even though it's true. It's not really bait; it's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there is no constituency for Cuomo except for like people who just refuse to vote for Mamdani
hmm
because of various reasons that we know racism,
Yeah,
xenophobia, Islamophobia. Um,
yeah,
that's pretty
yeah. And
much
the rat fucking is crazy. It's crazy that we got Congress people from like Long Island and Westchester yapping. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Stay over there in Long Island. Stay over there in Westchester. No one gives a fuck about you two. Shut up. New York City all day. But then I just seen news of Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro talking about, and Donnie hasn't done enough to to quell the anti-Semitism. It's like, what are you yapping about? It just it is getting it's getting ridiculous at this point. Like this is Mr. Former AG of Pennsylvania that office couldn't tell the difference between 20 stab wounds apparently being a suicide. Apparently 20 stab wounds equal a suicide, people. I never knew that. Like, have you ever seen a news report ever saying 20 stab wounds equal a suicide? Anyone in chat? Anyone in chat wanna wanna say, have you seen 20 stab wounds equal a suicide? Look that up in Josh Shapiro's AG record, and you'll find the amazing. That's a crazy ass story, and most likely he was doing it to protect a friend, and that rich family does not like what happened. But man, Donnie's anti-Semitic apparently.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll say one thing about the Trump. I do believe that Trump actually killed Epstein. It's just that I had that theory working for like so many years at this point, and I was like, he killed him because it's like he killed him. But apparently, when I looked up like a week ago, there was another Epstein associate that was also quote unquote committed suicide in his jail cell in France. That was like
Really?
in 2020, 2022 or 21. Which it was like later after Epstein's like
I think
suicide.
I
So
think
it
an
was like,
Epstein lawyer
yeah,
just died.
yeah. So it was like, I was like, damn it, that.
Yeah,
And then
Jeffrey Epstein's
Trump wasn't in
lawyer,
office
Roy
anymore.
Black, just died today. He was 80. He was 80.
Okay, okay, yeah,
It's
he
it's
he's
it's possible, very possible he just died because he's old. But what a timing, right?
yep. I was like, I had it all linked. I was like, yeah, Trump, he killed him. He's on the list. We all know this already. People want to play games, they play games. I don't care. And then I was like, I said it again. I was like, oh, he committed. I said it on Blue Sky. I was like, Trump assassinated Epstein, using that meme of like the guy in the blue standing up in the crowd. It was like, Trump, have a nice day. Lo and behold, find out, oh yeah, associate Epstein committed quote unquote suicide in France in the French jail, like a few years later in the same fashion. And I'm just like, well, Trump was in the office. So I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I love the fucking fact that like Republicans are rat fucking each other. Hate the fucking fact that Democrats are doing this bullshit to Zoran. They just don't want to give up the reins of power. Hakeem Jeffries, my district, my consul, yeah, my congressman, he could go fuck himself. Uh, Literally using the words of segregationist George Wallace. Like this is from years ago. Israel now, and the Israel now, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever.
Oh yeah,
The
that
same,
was
basically
yeah.
this. Yeah, like people need to spam that shit because, and you need to make it clear that how are you using the words of a segregationist, but also you're trying to you go like John Lewis, you're using John Lewis for everything. You can't be doing that shit. You're using the words of segregationists to support a apartheid state. Very contradictory to the late John Lewis, someone who fought for civil rights all his life. It makes no sense. You want to be APEC chill, be APEC chill. There's members of DSA that want to primary Jeffries, but I I have doubt in it. Not because I don't want him to not go. I want him to go, but the old heads really, really kind of love Jeffries, and that's very hard to shake for them. Unlike Cuomo,
I think
and it's just like they're
you
really
you know Brooklyn better than me because I'm a Queens guy and you're a Brooklyn guy. But
yeah,
you don't think that area has changed enough where there
yeah.
could be enough people there to vote out Jeffries?
No, even though the sentiment is that, hey, yeah, that Zoran won Hakeem Jeffries' district, we still the problem was is that we didn't reach out to some of those parts of the district as much. So we have places like where I live in Ocean
Right, but
Hill.
someone who
I don't know
someone
where
who's running
uh,
running to beat Jeffries would do
yeah,
that though. You know, it's not like
yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
So it's like they didn't reach out much to Canarsie, Ocean Hill, East New York, Brownsville. These are like hard on like quote like Brooklyn, but they mainly reached out in Bed-Stuy. That place is changing. That's why like Jeffrey's team was able to go like, oh yeah, team gentrification. And it was like, yeah, that's an area that they could pull out their asses if they want. So my suggestion is that you really have to get someone from the district, born and raised here, that's already on your side. That would be someone like Jabari Brisbook. But Jabari doesn't really want to do that. He doesn't really care for the position. So unless he has a change of heart out of nowhere, I don't know. Maybe Chiyose. That's those are the best two in my opinion. But who knows? But um, in my opinion, I want to primary him to the point that he fears the living Evan daylight shit out of him. That he just doesn't go. He just goes like, yeah, I shouldn't mess with like DSA or like other people.
right.
I shouldn't mess with the youth because it's like they don't want to change, but then yet they say, oh yeah, why aren't the youth voting? Why aren't the youth like involved? But like when the youth is actually like, it's not your time yet. It's not your time. Like is the time just like what is his name? I forgot his name. Connolly. You're gonna wait till Connolly
It's just
until you're like 1 foot
that
in the grave already, like
young
Patrick.
geriatric. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet that he lied about his like cancer fucking like he's like, oh, it was clear. It was like, no, it wasn't. It def wasn't. It's like you don't get a sudden change. I feel like you don't get a sudden change that suddenly. It was so short. He gets it cleared by like late fall last year, something like that.
Yeah.
No. Actually, yeah, I forget. But then it was basically 3 months. 3 months. Get out of here. This is it was definitely Nancy Pelosi pulling bullshit. My fucking god.
Yeah. Well, hola.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
I can yap all day, but
fantastic to hear from you though. Um yeah, man. I think someone could beat Jeffries, but you probably have a better
yeah.
uh idea on that. But you know, I think did we ever think that this would happen with Mamdani the way it did?
Me, I when he got 10%, I was like, no, we could do this. We could definitely do
Oh,
this.
I mean, oh,
Like
what you mean in the polls? Oh,
they,
okay.
like I mean, like I didn't know about Mandani until like at least probably like like maybe I want to say no, before July, probably
Do you not
earlier
watch
this
the
year.
Majority Report? What's going on?
Because no. I think I knew him before Majority Report. It was just
Right.
the
Well, because
fact that I
he's
was like I was supporting I was supporting Brad Lander because I knew about Brad Lander before that since last year. But when I saw like there was a couple of things that kind of I was like, hey, yeah, you guys really need to go out and like go to each borough and talk to people at least and whatnot. And I saw a video for him. I didn't see the AOC. I mean, not the AOC when he went to Fordham Road. I saw that, but I didn't know it was him. The video that really struck me and got me more attentive of him was when he met all of his, at least most of his donors or the donors he had in the video in each borough. And he asked them, hey, why'd you donate to me? That really reached to me because it's like you're going out to each and every borough and talking to your supporters. And I was like, we need someone like that. who's gonna listen to the supporters, who's gonna go and go to each and every corner, at least of each borough, including uh, Richmond County, to talk to people.
All right.
And that's where I continued and continued. Then when I started watching mayoral forums, and I saw Brad's responses like on a rent freeze and whatnot, it's like, bruh, he's like, if the number's 10, I was like, come on. And then he started like talking about like we need better, I don't know, when it came to like shoplifting, his response was like to get a database and record people that shoplifted before, as if he didn't do it before, and it was just like, okay, we just stop this nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I guess we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. But I think he's gonna win this handily, regardless of whether they formed a Super Tuesday Voltron of like 2000, 2020, when they just basically all combined to beat Bernie Sanders. I think he could beat that. Unlike they're all unpopular, and then I think most of their like hopes rely on the actual Republican and independents to actually go like, we do not like Mandani at all. We're not gonna pick Mandani. It's like you're really hoping on independents liking Cuomo. They're not gonna like Cuomo. You're really hoping that Republicans go like, he's too far left, and it's like you have not talked to Republicans and they do not like you. The actual Republican voters do not like Cuomo. The Republican elites, they like Cuomo because they're the ones that make the deals with Cuomo. But you ask almost every Republican and you look at polls of Republicans, they do not like him. They hate him. Even a little bit more than Kathy Hochul. Maybe she's governor, she's going to garner more. And then Trump is hurting them as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's my yap session. I'll talk to you in a couple more months.
Nah, call in more often, dude.
I mean, if I could get in, I could get in. But everyone has interesting stories, especially when you had the 7K going on. I was like, I don't know
I
where that
still
come
don't
from,
know
but
what
we're gonna
happened
keep the
there.
chat going.
I still don't know what happened there because there's
I have
no way
no
they were
idea.
real. No way they were real because they all left at the same time, pretty much.
Yeah, I tried to look at the participants of the chat, and there's only saw like 30 of us, so it
Yeah.
doesn't even account for like the 300 that liked. So it's like I don't know, or the 200 that are watching right now.
All right.
So I can't even.
All right, dude. I'm gonna read the
All
super
right.
chats and then that's the show.
All right.
Have a
Peace
good night.
out. Nice talking to you again.
Peace.
Peace. And try to, if you can, try to bring the little ones out to also help in Canvas.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
I probably
if
probably
if
not
it if it
probably
could be.
not the baby, but maybe my son.
Oh, oh yeah, they're probably not old enough. Yeah, because we actually had babies come out in Canvas as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah, maybe if I'm,
Yeah.
but see, if I did that though, I would be just canvassing my area with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, do it at your own pace. Do it within your own means. It's whatever. I think they also need. Well, I didn't know that the agent electorate was gonna swing that much to him. I was like, oh damn, we probably need people in Flushing. No, it I was more surprised than before.
Yeah.
But,
All right. I will.
all right.
I'm gonna jump.
All right.
All right,
All
dude.
right, peace.
Have
I'm
a
just
good
gonna
night.
look at more information about all these. Peace.
All right. Peace. All right, folks. I'm gonna actually call it a night. I'm closing the phones. I gotta read the super chats, and then that's the show. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Leftist Mafia. All right, let's do this. Renee asks, how was Enid's first wrestling match? She really enjoyed it. She got to see a ladder match featuring the Hardy Boys. She got to see AJ Styles show up, even though he didn't wrestle. It was a good show. She got to see her favorite, Joe Hendry. Renee with another super chat. In Chile, I call them submissive. Renee, you're doing that thing where I have no idea what you're referring to. Chris, you gotta give me some context in the super chat. Chris Corcoran with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Chris. I think AOC should have voted yes, but I personally don't think she was glazing the Iron Dome in her tweet, but said the amendment that doesn't cut all funding to Israel. She did vote against the main bill. Right. With the way she said it, she was like, this doesn't cut funding to weapons that go to, Gaza. This goes to the Iron Dome. It sounded like she was saying she's fine with funding the Iron Dome. Carrie Shaw with a $50 super chat. Carrie, thank you so much. Welcome back, says Carrie. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Donald James with the membership super chat. Still here, still supporting you. Cheers. Thank you, Donald James. Pendulous. Is that what's their whole Pendulous Dragon with a super chat. $20 super chat. Buy that baby some diapers. I will. Thank you. I mean, we have to. Andrew with a super chat. Matt, I saw a creator today had 19,000 concurrent. Then it was actually only 6K in the data. Left is best. I guess we'll find out what happened. That was weird. Over on Twitch, Astro Calico subscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Thank you so much, Astro Calico. I really appreciate it. All right, folks. That's the show for today. I'm so glad I did it because I feel like we're back in the mode. We're back in the groove. I realized that while, not the biggest audience ever, if you don't count all those bots, a lot of you remembered me. I appreciate it. All right, folks. I will see you all tomorrow on the Majority Report, on Leftist Mafia. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter, which is going to officially launch very soon at disruptionist.com. I'm not going to ask to support the show with Patreon right now because I was away for a little bit and I feel bad. But if you really would like to, patreon.com/Matt Binder. I will push that harder once I'm back in the regular groove. And, who should I raid? Let's see. I'm just going to raid someone. Whoever's on. I see Riverboat Jack is on. I'm going to raid Riverboat Jack. All right, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow on the Majority Report and then right back here on the Leftist Mafia. Take care and have a great night. It was so glad to spend our Wednesday night to early Thursday morning together. See you real soon.